prove that limit n to the power of 1 by n is equal to 1. Prove that limit n to the power of 1 by n is equal to 1. Proof. Let Sn is equal to n to the power of 1 by n minus 1. Then if I take 1 this side, 1 plus Sn is equal to n to the power of 1 by n. This implies I am taking power n on both sides. We will get that 1 plus Sn whole to the power of n is equal to n. Is equal to n. Now, then this implies n is equal to 1 plus Sn whole to the power of n. Now expand this binomial expansion. We will get that 1 plus nc1 Sn plus nc2 Sn square plus so on plus ncn Sn to the power of n. To the power of n. Now sum of these terms is equal to n. If I take only first three terms, then sum of this term is greater than or equal to first three terms, nc1 Sn plus nc2 Sn square. Sum of n plus 1 terms will be greater than or equal to this one. Here you can write here. Also note that Sn is greater than or equal to 0 for all n. If I take n is equal to 1, both will become 0. 1 minus 1, 0. If I take n is equal to 2, 2 to the power of 1 by 2 is greater than 1, therefore greater than 0. If I take 3, 3 to the power of 1 by 3 minus 1 is greater than 0. Therefore, if n is equal to 1, S1 is 0. If I take any other value greater than 1 n, then the Sn is strictly greater than 0. Therefore, I can say that Sn. Now, Sn cube, Sn power n all are greater than or equal to 0. Then this sum will be greater than or equal to the first three terms. Now, this one I can write as strictly greater than only the third term. 1 plus this one I can write greater than this one. This implies what is this one? nc2 n factorial by n minus 2 factorial into 2 factorial into Sn square. So therefore what we got here, n is greater than, n factorial can be written as n into n minus 1 factorial by n minus 1 into n minus 2 factorial by n minus 2 factorial into 2 factorial is nothing but 2 Sn square. n cancel, n minus 2 factorial, n minus 2 factorial get cancel. We are going to get 1 is greater than n minus 1 by 2 into Sn square. Now cross multiply. We are going to get that. Now I am going to make a cross multiply. So we will get 2 by n minus 1 is greater than Sn square. Now taking under root on both sides, we will get under root 2 by n minus 1 is greater than Sn. Therefore, Sn is less than under root 2 by n minus 1 provided I can't take n is equal to 1. If I take n is equal to 1, we will get that 2 by 0 which is undefined. So n can be taken as greater than or equal to 2. Greater than or equal to 2. Now let epsilon greater than 0 and let capital N is equal to 2 by epsilon square plus 1. 2 by epsilon square plus 1. Then n greater than capital N implies, what is capital N we have took? 2 by epsilon square plus 1. This implies, send this one here, n minus 1 is greater than 2 by epsilon square. Cross multiply, we will get epsilon square is greater than 2 by n minus 1. Taking under root on both sides, epsilon is greater than under root 2 by n minus 1. 2 by n minus 1. Therefore, now consider modulus of n to the power of 1 by n minus 1. What we have to prove, that one I am going to consider. This one is equal to modulus of, what is n to the power of 1 by n minus 1 is Sn. So here I can write Sn, modulus of Sn. Modulus of Sn. Since Sn is greater than or equal to 0, then modulus of Sn becomes again Sn. Again Sn. Now from here, equation number 1, Sn is less than under root 2 by n minus 1. From equation number 2, here you can write by equation number 1. From equation number 2, this one is less than epsilon by equation number 2. This one I can apply if n is greater than capital N and capital N is this one. Therefore, what we got now? Therefore, for small n greater than capital N implies we got modulus of n to the power of 1 by n minus 1 is less than epsilon. Therefore, limit n to the power of 1 by n is equal to 1. Is equal to 1. This one only we have to prove. Now, the next one. Prove that limit a to the power of 1 by n is equal to 1 for a greater than 0. If I take a as any real number which is greater than 0, then its power 1 by n and its limit is equal to 1. Proof. Proof. Here, given that a is greater than 0. A is greater than 0. Suppose that a is greater than or equal to 1. Now I am going to divide this problem into two cases. This is 0. A, I can take any number greater than 0. So first I am taking a value greater than or equal to 1 and I will prove this one. Then I will consider a value lies between 0 and 1 and I will prove the condition. So first one, a is greater than or equal to 1. Now I don't know what is a, but I considered a is greater than or equal to 1. Maybe a is 100, maybe 1000, maybe 10,000, maybe 1 lakh, whatever it may be. If a is any real number greater than or equal to 1, then there exists a natural number which is greater than that one. If I take a as 1 lakh, there is a natural number that is 1 lakh greater than or equal to that one. If a is 1 lakh point 1, then there exists a natural number which is greater than 1. So here I can write that then a is less than or equal to n for any n. There exists some n. There exists a n. If I take a as any real number greater than or equal to 1, then there exists a n which is such that a is less than or equal to n. If I say a as 100.001, I can take n as 100, 101, 102, 103, so on. Now, we have what we got now. 1 is less than or equal to a is less than or equal to n. Now taking power 1 by n on both sides to this inequality. 1 to the power of anything is 1 less than or equal to a to the power of 1 by n less than or equal to n to the power of 1 by n. Now since limit of 1 is equal to 1, limit of n to the power of 1 by n, just now we have proved, is 1. Therefore limit of this one is 1, this and this one both are same. Therefore I can use the sandwich theorem. Therefore by Squeezy lemma says that if a sequence lies between two sequences and these two sequences converges to the same limit, then this one also converges to the same limit. We have limit of a to the power of 1 by n is equal to 1. In this case, that what is that case? A is greater than or equal to 1. If a is any value greater than or equal to 1, then limit of a to the power of 1 by n is 1. Now the second case. Now the second case says that, now suppose Now suppose 0 less than a is less than 1. A is less than 1. In this case, a lies between 0 and 1. Now dividing with a, what you will get? 0 less than a by a is 1 less than 1 by a. 1 by a. Since 1 by a is greater than 1, then limit of 1 by a to the power of 1 by n, just now we have proved in the above case, if a value is greater than or equal to 1, then it's this value to the power of 1 by n is 1. This is greater than 1, then limit of 1 by a to the power of 1 by n is 1. This one I can write as limit 1 by a to the power of 1 by n is equal to 1. This one I can write as limit Sn by Tn can be written as limit of Sn by limit of Tn. This implies limit of 1 is 1 by limit of a to the power of 1 by n is equal to 1. Now cross multiply, we will get 1 is equal to limit of a to the power of 1 by n. What is this case? If 0 less than a less than 1. Therefore, in both the cases we got limit a to the power of 1 by n is equal to 1 if a is greater than 0. Either a lies between 0 and 1 or greater than or equal to 1, its limit value is equal to 1. Is equal to 1. Now, the next definition for a sequence Sn, for a sequence Sn, we write limit of Sn is equal to plus infinity. Earlier we have wrote limit of Sn is some real number, that is s, then we say that the sequence is converges. If here s is not a real number, maybe plus infinity, we write limit Sn is equal to a plus infinity provided means if for each capital M greater than 0, there is a number capital N such that small n greater than capital N implies Sn is greater than capital M. Means we write limit Sn is equal to plus infinity provided if for each capital M greater than 0, for each capital M, if I take any real number which is greater than 0, you can take a real number greater than 0 means smallest real number which is positive, you can take largest real number, you can take 1000, 10,000, 1 lakh also. For each and every real number, there should be a number capital N such that after capital N if I take any number, Sn, that term should be greater than capital M. Means if you are taking 10, M as 10, there should exist a N such that after that N if I take any N, those terms should be greater than 10. Okay. If I take 1 lakh, then also the term should be greater than 1 lakh. If I take 10 lakhs, the term should be greater than 10 lakh. Means if I take any real number, larger number, the term should be, again the term should be greater than that larger number. Means what is that larger number? If a student says 1 lakh, there is a term which is greater than 1 lakh. If I say 10 crores, then the term should be greater than 10 crores. There is a no limit for a larger number. Whatever the larger number you are saying, I will add one more zero at the end. I will say that is the larger than the previous one. Then there should be a term should be greater than the larger number. Means we can say that if I take any larger number, there is a term which is greater than that larger number. Therefore, what is the limit? All the terms of a sequence. Means if you are saying you are going to make a competition that you are saying a larger number and I am saying there is a term which is larger than whatever you are saying. Means there are infinite number of terms in a sequence and I can say any larger number. There is a larger number in a sequence. Means the limit of a sequence is plus infinity. In this case, we say that the sequence diverges to plus infinity. For example, I am going to take a sequence as Sn is equal to n. Now I am going to plot a graph. First, the domain is set of natural number 1, 2, 3, so on. Somewhere here we will get 100, somewhere here we will get 1 lakh, so on. Here 1, 2, 3, so on. Now first term S1 is 1. This is S1. Second term 2. Third term 3. 100th term will be 100. 1 lakh term will be 1 lakh, so on. Is this sequence is going to converge to a particular one limit? No. You can directly observe the graph. The terms are increasing rapidly. Now, the definition says that for each capital M greater than 0. Now, let us take any capital M which is greater than 0. You can take the capital M here or here or here, wherever it may be. And let us take, I am taking the capital M is here. This capital M is strictly greater than 0. According to this capital M, I am going to get a capital N here. After this capital N, if I take any small n value, their terms are also greater than capital M. Not only this capital M, you can take a larger number here. Let us take this is a capital M. Then according to this capital M, I will get a capital N here. After this capital N, if I take any small n values, all the terms will be greater than capital N. Not only here, if I take any larger number, again there is a capital N. After this capital N, if I take any small n Sn terms, that will be greater than. Therefore, I will say that the sequence Sn diverges to the plus infinity. In this case, I will say that limit of Sn is equal to plus infinity. The same definition I am going to write for the diverges to minus infinity. Definition, we write limit of Sn is equal to minus infinity provided for each m less than 0 there is a number capital N such that small n greater than capital N implies Sn is less than capital M. Means if I take any m less than 0 means it is a negative. If I take any real number which is less than 0, that is negative, there is a capital N such that after capital N, if take any natural number, its term should be less than that one. If I take minus 100, I will get a natural number. After that, if I take any term, that term is less than minus 100. Not only minus 100, I can take a much smaller number. If I take again much smaller number, if there exists a n such that if I, after that n, if I take any, if I get any terms which is less than that one, I will say that the limit diverges to minus infinity. In this case, we say that the sequence diverges to minus infinity. Don't get confused in diverges to plus infinity, diverges to minus infinity. Here for each capital M greater than 0, Sn should be greater than capital M. If I take any real number, positive real number which is greater than 0, Sn should be greater than that one. For diverges to minus infinity, if I take any negative real number, Sn should be less than that one. For example, let us take a sequence Sn I am going to take as minus n. Now I am going to plot a graph. 1, 2, 3, so on, 100, so on. Somewhere we will get 1 lakh, so on. Now I am going to plot the graph. Here it is minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, so on. Somewhere is minus 100, so on. Now first time, if I take n is equal to 1, you will get S1 as minus 1. This is S1. This is S2. If I take n is equal to 2, minus 2, that is S2. S3. S100, so on. These are the terms of a sequence. If I observe that as n tends to infinity, the terms are goes to minus infinity. Therefore, the sequence diverges to minus infinity. If I want to say the mathematical way, select any negative real number, let us take a m. Strictly m is less than 0. Now according to this m, I am going to get a capital N here. After capital N, if I take any those natural numbers, those terms are less than capital M. Not only this capital M, even I can take here capital M. If I take here capital M, according to this capital M, I am going to get a capital N here. After this capital N, if I take any those natural numbers, those terms are less than capital M again. Therefore, if I take much smaller number, according to this smaller number, there exists a capital N. After capital N, if I take any those terms of a sequence are less than capital N. Therefore, I can say that the sequence diverges to minus infinity. This is the examples just for understanding the definitions. Now let us discuss a problem. Give a formal proof that limit of under root n plus 7 is equal to plus infinity. Now first let us discuss we need to consider an arbitrary capital M greater than 0. Since I have to prove that limit value is plus infinity, I have to take capital M greater than 0. I can take any capital M greater than 0. There is no such condition. So I am going to select an arbitrary capital M. Now I have to show that there exists capital N such that small n greater than capital N implies the term Sn should be greater than capital M. What is the Sn? Under root n plus 7 is greater than this capital M. That capital N I have to find. So this one, under root n is greater than capital M minus 7. Now squaring on both sides, we are going to get n greater than capital M minus 7 whole square. It is in the form of n greater than capital N. So this suggests us to take capital N is equal to capital M minus 7 whole square. So now formal proof. Let capital M greater than 0 and capital N is equal to capital M minus 7 whole square. In most of the textbook we will discuss only proof, but we won't discuss about what is the capital N we have to get, so and so thing. So in this prescribed textbook, first we are going to discuss before proving what should be the capital N value, so that we are going to get the answer. So first we have discussed here, I got this capital N. Now then small n greater than capital N implies small n greater than, what is capital N? Capital M minus 7 whole square. Now taking under root on both sides, under root n is greater than capital M minus 7. Just I am doing the reciprocal process from bottom to top of the discussion part. Therefore under root n plus 7 is greater than capital M. This implies this is nothing but Sn is greater than M. Therefore for small n greater than capital N, we got Sn is greater than capital M. This implies limit Sn, what is Sn? Under root n plus 7 is equal to plus infinity. This is the process how to use the definition while proving. Now another example, give a formal proof that limit of n square plus 3 by n plus 1 is equal to plus infinity. So let us first discuss. In most of the theorems we won't discuss directly, we will do a proof, but since these are the problems, I am going to discuss first. Now first we have to consider any arbitrary capital M which is greater than 0. If it is here minus infinity, I will take M is less than 0. Now we have to determine how large small n must be to imply that Sn should be greater than capital N. Means n square plus 3 by n plus 1 should be greater than capital M. But earlier, before we are discuss the definition of diverges to infinity, diverges to minus infinity, we have solved some of the problems on limit, and we seen the type of problem we have got. In this we have to find the capital N, and the capital N should be in this format. But here it is n square, here it is n, it will get some complicated for me. So here I am going to solve somewhat easier. Instead of taking this one is greater than capital N, I am going to take a smaller term which is smaller than this one and greater than this one, and I will get this condition. How I am taking, let us see. Since now first take the numerator part. What is the numerator? N square plus 3. N square plus 3 is, I can say it is strictly greater than n square. I am taking only the first term, and now I am taking the denominator part. What is the denominator? N plus 1. N plus 1. Since it is in the denominator, I am taking its upper bound. Therefore, I can say that this one is less than or equal to 2n for all n. If I take n is equal to 1, both are equal. If I take n is equal to 2, this one is greater than this one. Now, if I make a cross multiply here, I will get 1 by 2n is less than or equal to 1 by n plus 1 for all n. Therefore, we have now here n square plus 3 is greater than n square, and 1 by n plus 1 is greater than or equal to 1 by 2n for all n. Then now take this part. What you will get? N square plus 3 by n plus 1. This one I can write as n square plus 3 into 1 by n plus 1. N square plus 3 is greater than n square into 1 by n plus 1. 1 by n plus 1 is greater than or equal to n square into 1 by 2n, which is equal to n square by 2n, which is nothing but n by 2. Therefore, what we got? N square plus 3 by n plus 1 is greater than n by 2. Now, I got the simpler one compared to this one. Now, I will consider this one is less than greater than capital M. This implies n by 2 is greater than capital M. This implies n is greater than 2m. It is in the form of n greater than capital N. It is the simpler one. Therefore, this suggests us to take capital N is equal to 2 capital M. 2 capital M. So now formal proof. Let us take any capital M greater than 0. According to this capital N, I can take capital N is equal to 2m. Then small n greater than capital N implies small n greater than what is capital N? 2m. Now cross multiply. What you will get? N by 2 is greater than capital M. Now I got this step. Now I am going n by 2. N by 2 can be written as n square by 2n. N square by 2n is greater than capital M. But we know that n square plus 3 by n plus 1 is greater than n square by 2n. Here we got this one is greater than this one, and here we got n square by 2n is greater than capital M. This implies n square plus 3 by n plus 1 is greater than capital M. Therefore, for small n greater than capital N implies we got n square plus 3 by n plus 1 is greater than capital M. This says that limit of n square plus 3 by n plus 1 is equal to plus infinity.